Here I am, a girl that moved across the world from Russia to the United States at the age of 16 alone. Hello my dear people, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Polina if it's your first time here, and in this video I want to explore the topic of living far away from your family, the pros and cons of such decision, and how you can adjust to living far away from your loved ones. Moving away at the age of 16 was definitely challenging for me. I remember a month before it actually happened, I was already dreading it. I was afraid of living in a different country. I was afraid that my parents, my siblings, who were literally a 9-hour flight away, and this was scary for me. But then once I actually happened to arrive at the boarding school that I attended, it became so much better. I want to explore the psychology of moving away, and if you in general like the topic of psychology or nutrition, another topic that I talk about a lot, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. It would really make my day. I would say that, of course, living far away is not easy. For me, it's been 8 years, and there are still challenges that I run into to this day. I think the most important thing to consider in all of this is why do you want to move far away, or why do you live far away from your family? For me, I feel like the opportunities I have in the States, the mindset of people in the States, in some ways might be closer to mine at this point. At the same time, I really cherish my Russian culture. I really go back as often as I can because I have a lot of people that I love back home. I love Moscow. Moscow is absolutely vibrant, beautiful city. But I feel like at this point in time, it's better for me to be here in LA and just explore what I can achieve here and what kind of career opportunities I have here and all that stuff. I also believe that for me, I spent the past 8 years in the States, and those are fundamental years in my development because I exited the teenage stage. I moved when I was 16. Those were towards the last years of my teenager period. And then I started becoming a young adult. It's that crucial age when you make a lot of life-changing decisions, when you start college, when you start having your first serious relationship, when you start having your own responsibilities as a young adult, when you start having your first job and things like that. All those things happened for me in Los Angeles. I feel like all those experiences shaped me in a way that I became well adjusted to living here and culture here. You really need to understand your why in order to feel happy and comfortable and know why you're doing what you were doing. I personally really advocate for living abroad and experiencing it because for me, the biggest thing is that it really pulls you out of your comfort zone and you're forced to go into the unknown. You're forced to maybe experience some challenges, but you will only grow from them because it's really good to face your fear sometimes and venture out of what's comfortable and what's known to you. Every single step that you take in that direction just expands your mind. It expands your universe and your reality because you start understanding that there's so many different scenarios of how your life can go. And I think to me, it's one of the most valuable experiences that I've had in my life because it definitely taught me to be way more mature, way more responsible, evaluate different decisions, evaluate what I can do and what I can achieve in my life. Of course, my family still helps me immensely. I don't know where I would be without this outstanding amount of help that I'm super thankful for. But at the same time, I know that I do way more things and understand more than what would happen if I was back home. I feel like I would remain a child for a longer period of time, if that makes sense. So yeah, some of the definite pros of living abroad is that you venture out of your comfort zone, you mature faster and become more responsible, and I feel like it also makes you feel more alive in a way that when we are really uncomfortable but then we make it work, we feel like we're in the moment. We feel like we've achieved something. We congratulate ourselves. When it comes to downsides of living abroad, I feel like being separated from family and from your beloved friends or anybody else you love in your home country, that's the biggest con. And I feel like if you're making the decision to move abroad, you should make it a priority to see them as much as possible. Of course, given the resources that you have or the time that you have to go and see them. I know that this has been very difficult with the pandemic, but I hope once the pandemic gets better, those people that live abroad can see their families again and reunite. So yeah, if you're living abroad, of course, the biggest con is that you don't get to see your family that often, but there are ways to make it happen to see them more. I feel like life is very flexible. You can always create opportunities for yourself to see your family even though you live abroad. Just do it as much as you can, and I'm very thankful for opportunities that I get to see my family. Another con that some people would see as a con, but I probably don't, is that it is scary, it is uncomfortable, and you might feel, I guess, lonely, or you might experience some negative emotions or adversity in the first, I guess, maybe year or few years that you live in that country. But I personally think that it is your perspective and you can change your perspective. You can always count on yourself. You can always go out, be outgoing, venture out and meet so many wonderful people and really integrate yourself into this new society. So I don't think it's a con. I think whatever makes you grow in a right direction, in a good, positive direction, is a good thing. In terms of some tips that I would give you in terms of how to adapt to this new life in a new country, I would say the biggest thing is become a yes person and become an outgoing person. Even if you're not like an outgoing person by nature, I feel like it's good to push yourself in that direction when you're trying to adjust to a new culture. Of course, when you have everything settled, like I do after like 8 years of being in the States, then it becomes different. Like you have your comfort, you have your people that you can always go to, you have those you can count on. But before you build yourself up to that position, it makes sense to be more outgoing and make yourself more available to meet other people. There's so many ways to meet people even during the pandemic. I can give you an example. Even like you can volunteer at a dog shelter. There is this place in LA, it's called Wags and Walks, and it's such a cool dog shelter. They receive a lot of funding, so it's very clean and you can take care of dogs. And also like I really care about animals. Like my diet talks about it and I talk a lot about it on my channel. I will link something up here about why, for example, I do not eat meat. And for me, like going to a dog shelter, there are a lot of cool people that volunteer there. So I really talk to a lot of people there and meet a lot of people there. But at the same time, I do something that I really love, which is taking care of animals. So there are so many ways to put yourself out there, even if you work remotely, let's say. So yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit about my perspective on living abroad. Please let me know down in the comments if you also live far away from family and how has it been for you. Let me know if maybe you lived far away from family, then you decided to move back. And thank you so much for being here, guys. I would love for you to subscribe if you like this video. And yeah, I will see you next Monday. That's the day when I release videos. So I will see you then. Bye, guys.